What's up, guys? Paula absolutely delivered. Jett's perfect, but I found a flaw. Pro Circuit Kawasaki protested Hayden Deegan. I'm going to give you a little update on that, but I'll have more on that when we get to the 250s tomorrow. Believe it or not, Davey Coombs has an explanation as to what happened on press day, and it's disgusting. But remember, guys, subscribe. The channels are judged by how many subscribers we have, so if you subscribe, it helps me, and I really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into this.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Okay, I have to start with Jett Lawrence. Jett Lawrence is absolutely, he might be the best talent I've ever seen. And I watched Ricky Carmichael and James Stewart each have perfect seasons. Ricky had 2. And I think Jett's better. And I think Jett may end up smashing every record in this sport. Seriously, that's 23 motos in a row. He's never lost a moto on a 450. The way he's able to slow down and rest during the middle of motos, he had the lead, slowed down until Hunter got to him. And that's the one thing you can say. Oh, hey, okay, he had his brother kind of running interference for him, but he knows Hunter. He knows how much better he is than Hunter. So as soon as he saw Sexton get past Hunter, he went, oh, okay, now we have to race. And they put 40 seconds on Hunter. That's how good Jett is. He's able to manage it. The way he found that step up, where he caught that little lip and was jumping over the whole thing, and nobody else could do it. It's amazing. And this is a day and age when motorcycles are a lot more competitive than they used to be. Back in the day, there was a bigger difference between teams and privateers. Nowadays, bikes are a lot closer. Yes, there's big advantages, but it's a lot closer than it's ever been. We have a deeper field than it's ever been. For the last 10, 15 years, since Ricky Carmichael and James retired, we haven't had a dominant champion. Somebody who you said, oh, they're going to win every time they go out there. We had, little runs by Tomac, but he always had a threat from somebody. We've had Dungey, Villapoto, but nobody had the kind of dominance that Jett has. What Jett is doing, I didn't think was possible in the modern era. It's ridiculous. Seriously, the kid has everything. He's handsome, funny, mentally strong, physically strong, hot girlfriend. What else? The guy's perfect. Wait, I saw a flaw. Hey, in case you guys didn't know, his dad, cue ball bald. So Jett, he's not perfect. His hair is on its way out. I noticed his hairline thinning just a touch when I saw him after that first moto. That's his only flaw, seriously. And he's doing this in an era. So when RC did this and James did this and all these guys had their dominant eras, they didn't have to deal with this much. There wasn't social media. Social media adds a whole new element of stress to people's lives. You got to go back. Everybody's opinions. You got knuckleheads like me on YouTube talking about you week in and week out. The fact that he's able to put all that stress, all that noise to the side and straight up deal with this, it's superhuman. It's crazy. I'm in awe. And while sometimes, yes, it's boring knowing we have this amazing rider who's probably going to win week in and week out, I'll tell you what, just sit back and enjoy the greatness. It's very, very rare in a lifetime when you see somebody who's this good at any sport. And this is a sport that's incredibly competitive. What Jett is doing is amazing. Did I say amazing enough times? There we go. And don't give me this, it's not a deep field thing. Chase Sexton is one of the all-time greats. If you remove Jett from the field, he's having a run similar to Villapoto or, any of these greats of the past. Chase Sexton is every bit as good as Tomac, but he's stuck behind what might be the greatest rider of all time. And that's just bad timing for Chase. But what I love about Chase is he is going to keep it exciting. I've never seen anybody who wants to win as badly as Chase Sexton. This dude is willing to do whatever it takes. No matter how many times Jett beats him, he still lines up thinking he's going to win. What's kind of cool about that is it makes what Jett's doing even better. It shows you he's not just beating a soft field. He's beating some dude who just is, like I said, you put Chase Sexton in any other era and he's a multi-time champion. I mean, He already has championship. The guy's a 450 Supercross champion already. And now he's got to deal with Jett for the next 10 years. Like I said, that's just bad timing. Don't tell Chase that. He doesn't believe you. He thinks he's better, and he always will. And that's that winner's mentality. And it just sucks that he came across a freak of nature like this. Like I said, if it wasn't for Jett, we'd be talking about Chase Sexton era and how great, Chase Sexton is. Unfortunately, he's got these two brothers. And, now when he's not dealing with Jett, he's dealing with Hunter. Hunter can ride that 450. Hunter is one of the most technical and good riders out there. He is rock solid. He'll be there week in and week out for the podiums. And on certain days, I think he's going to be the guy that stops Jett's streak, because he's the only guy in that field that Jett won't go bonsai to beat. Jett is going to fight Chase every inch of the way. If his brother beats him, I honestly don't think Jett would feel that bad. I think Jett loves his brother so much. He's like, you can have this one. But when it's Chase, he's like, no. And he does just what he needs to. The way he managed that race. Sexton goes off the track. There's a 5-second gap with a few laps left. I saw Jett looking over and going, oh, now I can relax. And then as soon as Sexton gets close enough, he finds and goes back to that 100%. I've never seen a rider who's been able to go in and out of race pace the way he does. A lot of times guys will be like, oh, I can do race pace, but once I lose it, it's gone. This guy has weaponized pace, and it's breaking his opponents. And this 450 class right now is pretty deep. You got Dylan Ferrandis, although he's a privateer. Should he even be out there? According to Jason from Gypsy Tales, privateers don't belong out there. Yeah, I don't think so. Dylan Ferrandis loves the bike that they have built him. He wants to get back to those winning ways. He's a former champion. He understands what it takes to win. Will he win? Nah, I think he's a guy that, unlike Sexton, I think he's okay getting second behind Jett. But he is going to be a nightmare for the rest of the field. Plessinger, Hunter, Anderson, Barsha, Justin Cooper, all these guys are going to have to deal with that Phoenix Honda all year. And while we all know how great Dylan is, it's still hard to go back and explain to factories and teams how a team that's on their own is beating them. It doesn't look good. Looks like KTM has that bike figured out. Chase looked fast. Plessinger looked really fast in that first moto. Kind of faded a little bit, said he got some arm pump. It happens when you've been off for a little while. And plus the pace those guys running are ridiculous. And that track was so gnarly. When JT went out there and did his little track presentation, I'm not going to lie, I feel like he could use those ruts as like a bunker in a war. And like JT could sleep in one of those things. That's how big those ruts were. And I know JT's not a tall guy, but still, he's a normal sized human. It's not like he's a little person. Hey, are you navigating amateur motocross? If you are, check out the Coach Rob podcast. Him and Derek Harris will go through how to navigate this crazy amateur racing scene that's out there. That podcast is great for you guys. Epic Garage Designs. Get yourself some slat wall. That's it. There's all sorts of cool stuff at Epic Garage Designs. There's racks, flooring, but just get yourself some slat wall. Thank me later. It's going to make your garage so much more organized. And then once you get your slat wall, let me know. We'll get some more stuff for you. Ride Strapped, a goggle company that believes in American values. Ride Strapped is a patriotic company, and they've helped me a lot. Check out ridestrap.com. Precision Transport, the best trucking company out there. Trucking companies are not fun to deal with. I don't know if you guys have dealt with them lately. They don't really care about customer service, but Precision Transport does, and they have reasonable prices. Hit up pretransport.com. They will get you dialed in. So as I record this, I go to check the 250 results, and they're not posted. And then I find out Pro Circuit Kawasaki has protested Hayden Deegan for off-track acceleration. This one sucks. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I don't like it when Tom Vial got penalized, but I understand it. It's such a inconsistent, and did they throttle? Did they not throttle? We see two guys do the same thing. One gets a penalty, one doesn't. If you're not sure, just go back to Supercross when Hayden Deegan took the same route as three other guys, and he's the only one that got penalized. The only way to truly fix this is if you had officials all the way around these 2.3 mile tracks or whatever they are. That would cost a lot of money. And we all know MX Sports doesn't like to spend money. They won't even hire a traveling crew to wave cautions and protect these riders. Now you want to hire people who can monitor the sides of the tracks and see who's speeding and who's not. But guess what? If they popped for regular flaggers and made them officials, maybe they could help use them for some of the judgment calls on these. And that's what these are. They're judgment calls. Judgment calls are always tough. They're ambiguous as to what is and what isn't against the rule. It's like, if you accelerate, do you slow down? It's a really hard penalty to prove, and it's a really hard penalty to disprove. If they penalize you right off the bat, you're probably getting a penalty. And if they protest you later when they didn't penalize you, good chance you're not getting a penalty. We'll have to see how this Deegan one plays out, but either way, it sucks. I don't like it, but it does add to the drama. We have ourselves a Levi Kitchen versus Hayden Deegan, and it's going to get ugly. You think this isn't pissing off Deegan? You don't think he thinks about the fact that Levi left that star team because he didn't like being around that circus that is the Deegans? This is going to get fun. I thought the battle was going to be Vial versus Deegan, but it looks like Levi might be the guy. But I'll talk more about that when I do the 250 video tomorrow. So back to the issue they had on press day. So if you just didn't watch the other video, on press day, there was a stack up of a whole bunch of guys. Garrett Marchbank's thumb was injured badly. It was cut to the point where he's out for a while. We don't know how long. Davey Coombs, who is the owner of the series, runs the series, also owns the biggest media outlet, so he runs the spin on all these things. So instead of saying, hey, we were too cheap, we did this, he threw a flagger under the bus. He said, oh, yeah, we put a flagger there, but the flagger listened to a PA announcement and left his post because they didn't want anyone standing on the tunnel. What? Davey, come on. You're going to throw this flagger who's out there volunteering, and if the track is paying him, it's not very much money. That's the guy you're going to blame for this whole thing? Screw you. That just shows you Davey Coombs' character. The guy's a scumbag, and he will do anything to protect his pocketbook. And in addition to, being too cheap for flaggers or enough flaggers, they didn't even have the Asterisk medical crew there for press day. They were using just a couple regular EMTs, which, but I mean, these are the highest level. You have an Asterisk medical rig, but you guys won't pay. Davey Coombs can't pay to have them there for press day if you're going to have the world's best riders out there. And I hear a lot of people complaining about what happened to RJ Hampshire on press day. He hit this giant boulder, crashed, broke his wrist. It's unfortunate. Now this, I'm not going to hold MX Sports or the track liable. That track is built on a rock quarry. Those boulders come up out of nowhere. You think you got them all covered, and all of a sudden one comes up. It's outdoor motocross. That stuff happens. It's unfortunate. It sucks. Nobody wants RJ Hampshire out. That is motocross. That's what makes what Jett's doing so amazing is he avoids all these little things. There's so many different hazards that are in your control, out of your control. And he's got 24 moto wins in a row. I think I said 23 earlier. No need to correct me. It's 24 motos in a row. But as much as I want to blame them for the boulder, I'm not. That's just something that happens in outdoor motocross. So I want to be fair. But the flaggers, that's just unforgivable. And then to blame this single flagger on the biggest media platform in Racer X by the owner of the series, that doubles up on the disgusting. So I placed my bets on Bet Online, which if you click the link in the description here, you can go create your account and bet on motocross. They did the matchups. I did really well in the matchups. Not so much on my other bets. And a lot of you guys that bet RJ Hampshire, just so you know, you're getting your money back. If RJ didn't race, they're giving the money back and canceling out those bets. If a rider is out before the start, like 24 hours before, they are going to cancel those bets. So you will get your money back. If it hasn't returned it yet, you will get it back. And if you're not done betting this weekend and you want to bet on the Indy 500, hey, click the link. There's Indy 500. There's pretty much everything on Bet Online. There's so many different sports to bet on. Just make sure you use my link because I am an affiliate and it does help me out. So thanks, guys. I'll be back with a 250 video tomorrow.